swag of a prize fighter. The antithesis of a firefighter. Arsonist, I'm a fire rider. Instant flame like a firelighter. So special with shows, I live out my flows. Can't walk in my shoes, can't purchase my clothes. Ice in my veins, but I never froze. Picture perfect, but I never pose. As a juvenile, I knew I bounced back. Got rated, had a plan to get my ounce back. Use cheese as bait, that's a mousetrap. Let me to the right person to pounce at. They selling dreams, I'm pulling receipts. Full force, we can't be beat. Got a dirty mouth, but the flow so neat. Keep your 2 cents, talk is cheap.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is there were some concerns over AJ's new physique. He posted a picture, and some people noticed that he was looking different. And some people felt like it was a sign of things to come. They felt like it was a sign that he was going to actually be able to perform better. And some people felt like it was a sign that he wasn't in good shape. So here's the picture. As you can see, that's AJ's physique. He doesn't look as shredded as he normally does. And some people feel like that's a bad thing. Some people feel like it's a good thing. Well, because the streets are talking, we have to talk about it. And since we're talking about AJ and physiques, TBE, what's the reaction?
Let me tell you something. It's mind over matter, you know? The mental outweighs the physical. You feel me? So, G, fix your face, man. Fix your face. What I'm about to say is, my man AJ is like Goku. He's in the hyperbolic chamber, just training, make sure he's like at peak. His mental's at peak, is at his peak, and his body can match that. So the muscles don't got to be there. And before we used to have this argument, like AJ got too many muscles. Now he loses the muscles is a problem. AJ just wants to show you he can box. He can handle himself against any opponent. And that's what he's getting ready to show. So all the haters, other doubters could be like, AJ don't got the back no more or the biceps, but he's still gonna do his thing. I believe. I ain't gonna lie. I believe in AJ. I feel like AJ has the personality and the characteristic traits to be that boxer we all like. He's the one we root for, but even though he doesn't deliver, he'll come back and surprise us.
You started off, Ned, by saying it's mind over matter. I thought you were going to go to the Sandro Page quote where he was like, "It's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter." I thought you was going to go. I thought you was going to go to that. But Ned, hold on, Ned. I'm just saying I got to do this again, TBE, because we have an expert among us. So. Oh, what is this? Oh, yeah, I think we have an expert among us. So, TBE, do you notice any differences in Anthony Joshua's physique that you can point out to us?
Hey, man, he don't got a six-pack no more. Pause.
I'm just happy he didn't say something else. So.
Watch your mouth.
All right,
G. You know what I mean?
G.
I mean, yeah. All right. I'm gonna be honest. I always said that, AJ had too much muscle. He was carrying around too much muscle because it shows. Like usually later rounds, that's when he starts huffing and puffing. He's not as sharp as he is in the beginning rounds. So I think it's good that he's losing some of that unnecessary mass, because I don't think, having all that muscle is necessary for his knockout power. Like, I mean, look at Wilder, look at guys in smaller divisions. They still got knockout power. They're not as bulky as AJ. So he doesn't really need it, So I think this is actually a good thing. My only fear is this a strategy because AJ doesn't want to engage with people like let's say, for example, with Franklin. Franklin likes to get down and dirty when he's exchanging. Is AJ trying to do what he did with the Ruiz rematch, just stick, move, stay on the outside, just throw jabs? Like, this is why he's trying to get that type of lean, so that way he could just be more of like, I'm not going to say a runner, but he's trying to utilize that type of boxing style to prevent damage. And I'm not necessarily against it. It's just I like the old school AJ that will get in there and exchange with guys. But if AJ's feeling like, yo, my chin can't handle it, I'm not the same old AJ. Maybe this new chapter of his life is, fighting on the outside, using his jab more, utilizing straight punches, less hooks and uppercuts. Hey, I'm not against it, you know, but the physique doesn't necessarily bother me. You know, it just is what it is, man. This might be good for AJ. It might be. I need to see more, you know. But yeah, go ahead, Ned. I seen your hand up.
Yeah, I feel yes, like early in AJ's career, while he was like at like he's attained all this success, he draws all this attention, and everybody's trying to be in his corner, trying to give him advice. And I think AJ's finally figuring out what works for him. I think yes, it's the heavyweight division. We want to see guys you want to see guys get knocked out. The power, you want to see the muscles, you want to see the pecs, all of that, the back, all of that crazy crap. But
you want to see pecs? Well,
it's just like you want your fighter to look crazy, like Rocky, Kabalain, whatever.
So pretty much, it sounds like you said,
not me. The fans, the fans,
the fans. It's not you, Ned.
The casuals. So I feel AJ's past that now. He's obtained the success. He's lost. He's been down. He's got back up. He's been down again. I think this time around, he's like, let me go in and be a smart boxer. Let me just bark. The throwing punches, getting in there, knocking guys out. There's no longevity in that. And the smart, when he fought the second time he fought Ruiz, it was a master class. And we agree for heavyweights, we don't want to see that. But if you could outbox somebody with power, somebody with strength, things like that, like Usyk did AJ, that shows you they understand boxing. Their IQ is high, and I think AJ's just been training and trying to fix his skills to better himself, to be like a smarter boxer, not more rely on his power, but more rely on the things that make the game, that make boxing what it is. Whereas you hit and you don't get hit, So yes, it may not be the best, we may not be the fun, exciting AJ we've seen of old, but we're still gonna have a great AJ.
Well, I said this a long time ago. You can go back and check the tapes. I said Anthony Joshua needs to train to fight 12 rounds. That's it. That's his job as a fighter. All this weightlifting and all this other stuff. Now, you lift weights as a fighter. Nobody's saying you don't lift weights, but you don't lift weights the way you would lift weights for a competition, or the way you would lift weights to, say, play football or other sports. But again, AJ clearly had a physique that was one in which, people recognized he was shredded, and Tyson Fury would call him Mr. Olympia. Well, actually, G called him Mr. Olympia. Tyson Fury would call him a bodybuilder. Same thing, right? If you don't not familiar, Olympia is the big competition for bodybuilders, right? And AJ looked like if he wanted to and he decided to go that route, he could have been competitive in bodybuilding. But when I look at AJ's physique now, he looks like a guy who's been focusing on boxing and not caring about certain aspects of training that he probably used to do. Looks like he went back to the elements, to the roots. Like he was focusing more on what's going to help him improve in the ring. He was going rounds in the ring. And so what comes with that is you don't look as shredded sometimes. You may not look as, but look at Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis wasn't shredded like AJ was. Mike Tyson was muscular, but he wasn't shredded like AJ was. So to me,
Holyfield was. Let's keep it 100.
We know what
Holyfield was doing. Holyfield was beast, son. And
you
remember,
know what Holyfield was on.
Holyfield was on the juice, bro.
I was about to say, listen, there are things out there on Holyfield, and you could take a look at that. But Holyfield also, I feel like his peak didn't last as long as these other fighters did. When you look at it, and so sometimes that's a sign of, yeah. So, but I'll be honest, AJ's body, to me, like, for the people, you're saying that about AJ because you're comparing it to the guy you saw in 2015, and you're comparing it to that guy. Now you're looking at a dude who's clearly in good shape, and he may not be as shredded, but people are looking at it and saying, "Oh, that's a sign." Look, we won't know until he steps in the ring. But if he's training not to fade in the later rounds, and he's not focused, and his diet is changing, because in order for you to be shredded, like, people don't understand, that's more diet. Like, what if AJ wasn't getting the proper nutrition and things he needed to be competitive for 12 rounds? So it allows him to have this shredded physique, but it doesn't allow him to perform. And now he has a new team who's probably like, bro, I don't care how you look. Look at how Fury looked. Fury got the belly jiggling, but he whooping you in the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. It's like, honestly, sometimes when you look at, like, unless you got to make weight, you look at the lower weight divisions, they got to make weight. So there's a level of not eating and being dehydrated, and you see him on a scale like before the weigh-in, you're like, oh my God, what happened to them? But in the heavyweight division, look at Andy Ruiz, bro. Andy Ruiz give people that work. Luis Ortiz, he's not shredded. So you see AJ now, and he still looks good, he still looks fit, but he doesn't look like a bodybuilder. He doesn't have that extremely low body fat percentage, and people are worried. Like, let's see how he performs. And I think that's going to be the deciding factor. So, you know, I hate to agree with G, but I need to see more. I need to see how he performs with the new physique and the new training before I can be like, oh, he was out of shape or whatever. Because just because someone has a little bit more body fat doesn't mean that they can't perform. That might be what he needed to last in the later rounds. He probably didn't have enough. Because, you know, when you're working out and you're doing endurance workouts, as you keep going and you get later and later on, like, not having body fat it can be a detriment. Not having those extra stores and Fury, his body got a lot to go off of. Fury. Like, so I'm just saying, man, let's wait and see before we jump on him. His body doesn't look bad. It's just not what you're accustomed to seeing, but we got to see how he performs, right?
Yo, Kaden, why did it look like he want to slap you right now, yo? He's like, yo, don't be talking about my boo. You know what I'm saying?
My bad, Ned. I'm just saying, man. Like, you know.
G, I'm gonna get you.
Hey, man. Hey, right now, it's all right, Ned, man. It's all right.
It's also just one picture. Who knows, man? AJ might pull up at the weigh-in and be shredded again. Because, like I said,
I seen him chopping up like a tree or something. He looked pretty shredded in the picture. He looked smaller, but he looked ripped. You know what I mean? So maybe this was like, you know, like an older picture. You know, where
but that's arms though. That was arms, and he had on like a tank top. He's exposing like his core, so it's different. I mean, like, again, this is lighting time. Like, you know, like I said, it's all diet, and they're like 2 weeks out. If he goes on a strict diet for 2 weeks, he could cut up again. Like, it's not that big of a deal. So to me, this is much to do about nothing. But since it was a topic of discussion, I figured, hey man, we gotta address it. So anybody else got anything to add? What you said, G?
I was like, yo, we had to throw Ned a bone. That's why we did this topic. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Remember, you can listen to our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.